On this episode of Watch, Review, Repeat, we're covering Tron Ares, the third film in the classic Disney franchise. Stay tuned for our conversation on the grid, users, programs, light cycles, and, unfortunately, Jared Leto. A new episode of Watch, Review, Repeat begins now. Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television, get sent into the grid, and then back into the real world sometimes too. I don't know. And sometimes we also talk about film and television on the following episode as well. My name is Colton Brown. Joining me, that Jeff Bridges sound-alike is actually
the grid.
Andrew Meadows.
The grid.
A digital frontier.
Yes, it is I. I did venture to the movie theaters to watch a movie.
Oh man, first time in a couple months?
I feel like yeah. The last one I think would have been Weapons. I think was the last one I saw. Yeah,
that fucking Jared Leto, man.
He puts asses in seats.
He got you.
I don't know if he puts asses in seats or no. We'll find out in the box office breakdown. But he did get me.
We will talk about it. He got you. He got me. He got us. We're here to talk Tron Ares. Tron Ares, the third entry in the Tron franchise. Following up on Tron Legacy, which came out like 15 years ago.
Yeah, we're getting old.
That definitely makes me feel old because I remember when that was new.
That was the shit.
Everything.
Oh,
and
so cool.
Yeah, but now there's a new one to excite the youths or whatever, or excite the olds in this case, apparently, or attempt to excite the olds if nothing else. We'll talk about it. But yeah, Tron Ares, and this is the second episode that we are doing under our new format, under this new era of Watch, Review, Repeat, which we kind of explained at length in our Alien Earth episode, and I'll do it a little bit more quickly on this episode for anyone that thought, oh, I didn't watch Alien Earth, so I'm not going to listen to that episode. Although it is interesting that was under 2 hours. That's crazy. How did that happen? How did they pull off that feat? Well, we pulled it off because we've tinkered with how we're doing things. We're cutting out headlines. We're cutting out trailers. For now, we're going to compartmentalize those into their own episode where we get to hang out. We're still cooking up a fun name for it. I don't think we've settled on anything just yet. And we're reserving, time, the time that we know where we're coherent and and actually doing okay and not too inebriated on the thing that the episode is titled after. And as I probably would have said on the Alien Earth thing, well, what a concept, right? But yeah, that's what we've decided. That's the way we're going to do things, and I think it's going to be good for us. It's going to be good for the listeners, and I think Alien Earth was that episode, I should say, I think was proof positive. I got some good sleep. I think the back end of it, in terms of editing, I think it's probably going to be good overall. I think it's a good, healthy change. We have yet to do one of our hangout styled episodes. Those might be a little more loosey goosey, maybe a little bit more long in the tooth, but they will be in a separate space, and we won't have to worry about talking about random shit for 2 hours and then being like, oh God, now I have to talk about now I have to talk about Alien or whatever it is that obviously we're talking about. So I think, we're working out the kinks. Obviously, this is number 2, but I think we've got a winning format, and I feel good about it. And I think, in the interest of showing to our listeners that this is a winning format, I think we should get into Tron Ares right now.
Jump right in.
Let's do it.
I've got a little bit of I got a cool fact.
Okay.
A little fact.
Let me set it up.
Oh, yes.
And then I would love to hear that fun fact from you. I know. See, like I said, we're working
iron in the kinks.
And we didn't do a box office breakdown last time because it was a TV show. So we're going to do that. But we'll set it up. We'll do a fun fact. We'll do a box office breakdown. We'll do non-spoilers recommendations, spoilers, a little bit of catching up, and we'll be out of here. We'll be out of your hair, man.
Let's do it.
You being
cool, man.
The listener, not necessarily you. Yeah, we'll do some fun Jeff Bridges things throughout the episode. A little twang, Tron Ares, it is playing in theaters right now. The word on the street, hot off the presses, is that it will be coming to video on demand December 9th. So you do have a little bit of waiting if you don't want to see it in theaters. But it'll also be on Disney Plus. I'd say maybe by the end of the year, maybe they'll do like a Christmas drop, but maybe, probably more likely early next year, potentially. But yeah, theaters now. That's the way to watch it if you do want to watch it. If maybe you listen later in this episode and we tell you whether that's a good thing to do or not, we'll get there. Tron Ares was written by Jesse Wigutau, directed by Joachim Ronning. It stars Jared Leto.
Who also produced?
Not the only person also produced. Yes, that's a notable. It's a notable thing, actually. You pointed out. Maybe we'll talk about it because maybe there's no Tron Ares without Jared Leto. It's a sort of catch-22 situation, but we'll get into it. In addition to the only Jared Leto, we also have Greta Lee, Evan Peters, Jodie Turner-Smith, Hassan Minhaj, Arturo Castro, Gillian Anderson, and Jeff Bridges. That was real bad. Sorry. A highly sophisticated program, Ares, is sent from the digital world into the real world on a dangerous mission. That's right. Instead of going into the grid, they're coming out of the grid. Ooh. Big twist. One that you were really, really excited about, as I recall from the marketing materials.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. But right now, I think you're champing at the bit. I think you had a fun fact you were ready to share.
So I don't know if you remember with the Batman, they made a real car.
Oh, right.
And I was pumped about that car.
Legit badass Batmobile. Yeah. No, I think we probably spent a little time talking about the ins and outs of that mean machine.
So I think that because fun fact is for the first time ever, from what I understand, the light cycles in Tron Ares, at least some of them, are real. And not only are some of them real, at least
like functioning.
Some of them are functioning. Yeah.
Okay.
They're built around, cool. From what and this is what, they must not be as badass as that Batmobile, right? Because there's not as much information. Doesn't seem to be as much like, I don't know. I'm gonna say pride behind it, right? Because the people were pumped about that Batmobile, right? There was 15-minute montage, like a whole behind the scenes about the construction of this thing. I can't find hardly anything about this light cycle aside from the fact that it's built around a Harley Davidson frame, or chassis is the way slash film put it. Did some search and I couldn't find a whole lot on it, but there is a real motor, or there is a real light cycle. And that's pretty cool, good practical.
Oh, that's really cool.
Good practical.
I don't think there's definitely sequences where it does feel like it would be hard to do without some practicality of the bike, working, especially because it's, real world sequences, like practically, speaking, like if you're already having to CG everything in terms of like the driving sequences, like what's the point of putting it in the real world?
Which is, it's excuse me, I had this cough for like 3 weeks. Anyways, I'm
right there with you still.
It's bullshit.
It may never go away. We'll find out.
Yeah, Jesus. They it's interesting, right? Because the article that I read said that Tron, the franchise of Tron represents a whole lot, right? There's interesting things in cinema that Tron represents. The first movie was like one of the first movies to be almost entirely CG.
Right, yeah, sure.
And the second movie was like the debut of the de-aging, the de-aging stuff, which is despite how it was executed or what it looked like, it was still it was the look of Tron. The first Tron looked like shit, but it was in the 80s. But
it was at the same time pushing boundaries, trying new things, trying new different things, and Yeah,
pushing the envelope. So
varying degrees of success.
This is taking the digital things and making them practical, which I think is, it's like less of a pioneering thing, but still kind of cool because it's
cool.
Franchise supposed to be set in the computer, and you're doing practical stuff instead of computer stuff, and I think that's kind of cool. So
no, I would agree. It's pretty cool. Yeah, no, that is pretty cool. I mean, like the light cycle is pretty cool. They made a whole fucking ride at Disney centered around them, right?
I did ride it too, with the Aries flavor, so that was pretty cool.
Okay, a bunch of red lights, probably, maybe some 9 Inch Nails.
Exactly, all of those things.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. I mean,
it's pretty cool.
Maybe we'll have to. I've never been on that ride. That's at Epcot that it's at.
It's actually at Magic Kingdom.
Oh, it's at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's pretty fucking badass. Either way, haven't been on that, but I may hold on to that, and when we get into recommendation, see if the ride is better than the movie, or if the movie's better than the ride. I'll be curious what your sense is of that. But if you're ready to move on, I have some box office details that we could break down.
Yes, I'm curious to see how this movie did.
All right. Have you heard anything?
No, actually.
Have you read anything? All right. This is new information for Mr. Meadows. Well, if I could get some hockey horns, I think maybe I could break it down for you. Box office breakdown.
Cool, man.
Try to do something. Cool. I was either going to go Jeff Bridges or I guess I could have gone
Tron.
Box office.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a little Jared Leto-esque. I don't know if it was quite as flat as it needed to be, but we could have done some 9 Inch Nails stuff too. I don't know.
I can't laugh.
Jesus. I just went with classic. Yeah. No. This is a joke-free episode. Joke-free podcast.
Much like Jared Leto. I guess he made jokes.
There's some jokes. He tries to make some jokes. Were they funny? We'll get into it. But yeah. So this movie had a reported budget of somewhere in the neighborhood of $180 to $220 million. So that's our starting point of, hey, you spent probably close to 200.
Quarter of a mil.
$200 million,
or a quarter of a billy. Quarter billy.
Yeah, close to that, right? And that in that neighborhood. And so it was tracking for about a $45 to $50 million opening weekend, which I think wouldn't have been obviously certainly as high as one would want a $200 million budgeted film to make, but unfortunately did not quite reach that mark either. It brought in about $33.5 million in its first weekend.
That's terrible.
America,
what's it rated? PG-13?
PG-13, yeah, definitely not rated R. Obviously came out, mid-October, early to mid-October. I don't know if that's...
What else is playing?
Well, I don't know that there was much else playing. I guess I could actually see what it was up against in terms of competition. Roofman, so I think the Channing Tatum movie, One Battle After Another, was in its second or third weekend. Yeah, I mean, it was really the only big release for the weekend, it looks like. So really very clear competition, very clear field. Just didn't seem to gather a ton of interest overall. It hasn't done significantly better in the weeks since. We're now talking about it after it's been out for, I guess, 2 to 3 weeks now. I guess. It came out October 10th. We are technically recording at the end of October. I'm sure this episode will be out in November, but we are recording the last week of October for reference. So, it hasn't had huge cratering drops. It dropped about 66% its second weekend, which is not great. But it was also coming off of a holiday weekend.
Okay.
So, that's probably a little bigger than it might have been otherwise. But yeah, just lack of
$30 million on a holiday weekend at that.
Yeah, just not generating a ton of interest. I don't know if it's is it the Jared Leto effect? Is it the Tron effect of who actually cares about Tron these days?
Can we compare it to how did Tron
Legacy for comparison's sake? Legacy definitely did better. Significantly better.
$30 million is pretty
some actual
shit.
Numbers. Tron Legacy pulled in about 43.5 mil in its opening weekend, so obviously
10.
That's a bit higher.
Yeah.
But it also, I think, had some better legs. I think played better overseas. Tron Legacy in total grossed about 400, like just north of $400 million. That's worldwide.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad.
And about 172 of that was North America. And Tron Ares right now obviously still has, some
weeks.
Some money to be made, has a few weeks ahead, but November gets real busy. And so I think that its legs are going to be, what legs it has, I think are going to be cut off pretty soon. And so it's looking at somewhere, it's right now, I'll say, at about $124 million worldwide.
God
64 of that, 64 million coming from the domestic side of things. So it's pretty evenly split. But yeah, you're not looking at probably getting more than $160 million when all is tallied, at the end of its run, which obviously is less than half of what Legacy did, and I'm sure it's more than what the first Tron made, back in the day.
Counting inflation.
Well, with inflation, maybe not. But the difference is, I'm looking at the first Tron was made for $17 million. It made $50 million at the box office. It made more than double its budget. Tron Legacy cost a reported $170 million. Brought in $410 million, so it made more than double its cost. Tron Ares, you're going to the other side of that. You know what I mean? You're making it for $200 million, and you're bringing in 150, 160. Like, you're not even getting your budget back. That's not factoring marketing. So it's going to be a loss, of some sort for Disney. And
can we look up other Leto movies? Is this a trend?
What else has he been in? What has he been in that he's been the guy? I think that's really what I would
the
be
Joker.
Curious. Because he was in Suicide Squad, and Suicide Squad did really well.
Ensemble cast, yeah.
Ensemble cast. He was not the main character. Obviously, he was a prominent figure in that movie. But honestly, that movie sucks even without Jared Leto in it. I would say. It's real bad, and he definitely makes it worse. But like Blade Runner 2049, obviously he's not a huge key component, and that movie didn't do incredibly well, but better than Tron Ares, relatively speaking. I just don't know that we've had a lot of House of Gucci, where again he was kind of part of an ensemble. Like, that's really a Lady Gaga and Adam Driver movie, and it's not a Jared Leto movie. You know what I mean? I can't. I'm just looking back. Morbius is, I guess.
There we go.
The obvious
Morbius.
Comparison. Fucking Morbius,
How'd that
man. Not well. But better than this. And it also cost a lot less. That's obviously a factor too. Morbius cost about $75 million to make. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to spend on a Jared Leto-led movie, but it made $167 million. So there's a chance that Morbius finishes higher than Tron does. And is there justice in this world? I don't know. Whatever. But, I don't know. If you're $167 million is an amazing take, but when your movie only costs 75, 80, well, it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not nearly as bad.
You're getting your money back. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Morbius has fucking been memed to death, and it's the butt of many jokes. But at this point, Tron Ares might be taking the crown. Maybe it's the source of some jokes, at least in terms of its reception. It's been pretty chilly on the box office side of things, mixed critically, not super negative, and something like Morbius was very, very negatively received critically. Tron, I will say I've seen a lot of vocal fans on the internet eating this movie up. I have my own thoughts that we'll be getting into shortly. But yeah, I know it's probably got to be considered a disappointment. Obviously, you spend $200 million on something, you hope to get your money back, at least, and that's just not going to happen here. So it is what it is. That's what we got though for the box office breakdown. But
do what they do on NPR when they talk about the markets. They do the sad horns, or they do the happy horns, or whatever.
Definitely playing some sad horns here. Sad horns for sure. All right. Well, now the question is in terms of how you feel about it, because you can put the critics to the side, you can put the haters to the side, not just because something doesn't make money, just because people aren't seeing it in theaters doesn't make it a bad movie, right?
That's right.
And you watched it. It
definitely doesn't mean that I do or do not enjoy it based off of those things.
No,
I've been known to.
It shouldn't factor into that. Obviously, it's important because if you like a thing and you want more of a thing, that's where you're kind of getting into trouble. How likely is Tron 4 at this point? I don't know. Probably pretty unlikely based on the fact that it's losing money. But we can get into that later too. So yeah, putting all that noise aside, you took a theater trip. What was that experience like? First time in a couple of months, and then yeah, I'd love to hear what your thoughts were leaving the theater, thinking about Tron Ares.
So we're gonna start with anticipation, right? I was pretty down on this movie going in.
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
I think I reportedly say I want it to be cool, but I think it's going to be shit.
Yeah, I think
something along those lines.
That sounds like a fair summation. I would agree based on my recollection of our conversations leading up to this movie coming out.
So it got released opening night. Coworker, future brother-in-law, maybe Ben went and saw it.
Okay,
saw it with his dad and his friend. This was a big deal. This was a big deal for him. Now, Tron. For him, I feel like Tron came out in high school for us.
Yeah, probably 2010. So,
and I'm roughly 10 years
December
older
2010.
than...
So it would have been after we graduated, I think technically, but like freshman year of college for me, and like right after high school, I guess for you, roughly that time.
And I'm roughly 10 years older than Ben.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So. This movie came out, just as he's starting to watch movies, I guess, you know what I mean? And starting to really get it, I guess, getting into movies or whatever, you know what I mean? He's a young kid. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so Tron was definitely a big deal for him. So he got it with his dad and he got with his best friend, and they went and watched it. And I got a text message from him saying, it's awesome. Okay. Tron Ares is fucking awesome.
It's got a glowing recommendation. Night one, day one.
He and he said, "Well, I don't know. The story isn't necessarily the best, but it's really cool. It's a real cool movie."
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I've never seen the first.
I feel like that's kind of what I was hoping for going into the movie theater. Was like, look, Jared Leto is going to be the guy. We've talked about, like, is it as fun when it's them coming into the real world versus them going into the grid? Like there are things about it that I'm like, I don't know if I love this from the outset, but as long as it's fucking cool, then that should be enough to carry it. Like I think that was kind of at
low
least
bar.
my mindset going in. Yeah,
it's
set a low bar,
a measured
you'll
bar.
probably be fine. You'll probably be fine. Yes.
And anyway, so I finally got the opportunity to go to the movie theater. Went Monday after work. We're recording on Wednesday, so this is a fairly fresh take.
Yep.
I went to the B&B theater, so it's not terribly far from the house. It was very convenient. I made it there in time. It was. I couldn't see it in a premium format. B&B's got some weird formats, but I couldn't even see it in that. So, but the seat was comfortable. Had a pretty good seat. And the movie theater experience was good. Good movie theater experience.
All right.
We're off to a good start.
Was good. The viewing environment is all right. Okay.
So we're there.
All right. Let's move on. What else?
So into the movie. This is what I'll say about Tron Ares. I think Tron Ares is a poorly written film. I think that
okay.
Again, you have to try to attack it from a measured place, you know what I mean? But I think even if you take Legacy for all it is, right? And I like Legacy. I think Legacy is a pretty cool movie.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I can understand I understand people's misgivings with it. But even if you take into account the way that movie is, and then you go to this movie, I feel like they just didn't understand. I feel like they just didn't understand the legacy. You know what I mean? I'm not even talking about the first movie because I don't know anything about that. But as a direct sequel to Legacy, I feel like they just didn't understand. Like they never watched it, or like. This movie is soulless. It almost feels kind of soulless. I don't know. It felt, and Ben actually brought this up, which is interesting because he was praising the movie. You know, there's, there's users, which are people, and then there's programs, right? Programs in Legacy act like normal people for the most part, with the exception of maybe your, what are they? Sirens? Are they sirens? Is that what they're called? The chicks in the white spandex?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So there's the chicks in the white spandex that don't act like normal people. They're very computery.
But they still have personalities, though. I mean,
they do. Yeah.
You know, we got the one who's working with
the fucking rave guy.
Yeah, the rave guy. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like she gets a little bit more to do, and so she clearly still has like her own personality. She's not just
and ambitions and stuff. They're very much like AI characters.
Yeah.
Right? Mm. And then you take a Jared Leto character, which is supposed to be like your Tron-esque pinnacle master controller, right? He's like
security man. Yeah.
He's the main guy. He's the most advanced version of, everything. And he's the most robotic fucking character. I guess he's not the most robotic. There's other characters that are equally or more robotic, I guess. But the point is...
But the baseline is like no personality, just like I am
program,
I have a mission,
Ares.
I execute my mission. I am Ares, yes.
Right?
I am Ares, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like they do, the writing just totally missed the fucking mark.
It sucks out the joy of like, well, like what's it like to be in this kind of...
I pictured the information moving
world.
Like highways.
Yeah.
So, so you went into there and you saw the highways and the cool-ass buildings and everybody's acting like I am Ares.
Well, they're a form of artificial intelligence which implies intelligence, And like, obviously, this movie does, bring it to plot-wise, does bring it to a point where, maybe the programs can think for themselves and have, reactions to things that are unexpected. But it's like, you're kind of right. I mean, we kind of seen that. I mean, like Clue's whole shit and Legacy was like, am I still to create the perfect system? And it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna commit genocide then and fucking, try to, create an army and, and like, there's a whole thing of just like, yeah, it's a program, but like, obviously, they're not just like, yes, sir, yes, that doesn't compute. They're not fucking battle droids, from Star Wars. So, no, it's a very valid observation, I think, to make from
no, maybe it's because it's on a different system. Like, if you want to try to like make it
End World, it's the Dillinger, it's not
versus the
Kevin Flynn NCOM grid, right? They're programmed differently. Fine, there's maybe canonical explanations for why.
Doesn't excuse the fact that the majority of the time I spent with the characters, I didn't give a shit about any of them because they're just not relatable. Fucking, they're
because they have no personality, and it's like
exactly
by design. But it's like you made a movie about a battle droid, it'd probably be pretty fucking boring, Like, right. Like I can't wait for this. I can't wait for the Jedi to slice it like butter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I thought the writing was. It made it feel kind of like a waste of time. I felt like I didn't really get anywhere by the end of the movie. And in fact, where this movie ends off, it actually just fucking...
Did it make you mad a little bit?
Just like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, I don't know if there's anything.
You didn't stick around for the mid credits. There was a mid credits, but
Jesus Christ,
sounds like you bailed.
I got the fuck out. Once I saw where it ended up,
I'll tell you all about it in spoilers. I'll tell you all about it.
So I was not a fan of that. The villain of this movie, he reminded me a lot of Hammer from Iron Man 2.
Okay, yeah, just
Hammer vibes.
Less dancing, I think, overall, but
less dancing, but just kind of like
vibes are there.
Just kind of I just got stupid vibes from them. I get stupid maniacal vibes. You know what I mean?
Well, and also like the whole general plot is kind of the same thing of I've created this thing, that is like the perfect soldier, whether it's an Iron Man suit or Iron Man copycat suit versus now it's a digital program that, will, if he gets killed, well, we'll just 3D print some more, no big deal.
Right.
So it is, I think it actually is very plot wise, I think kind of similar too. I hadn't really picked up on that, but yeah, that's fair.
Let's see what else is there. Oh, the best parts of this movie, and I'm just kind of reinforcing my bias, so I don't know if but the best parts of this movie were when it was in the fucking computer. So I kind of stand behind my opinion about that.
Your preconceived notions of, it's just more interesting when it's that versus, I know what reality's like. I've seen it. Light cycle in the real world. All right, pretty cool.
Pretty cool, but it's fucking outlandish. There would be cars exploding everywhere. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't
split the one cop car, right? Didn't it get like split in half or something?
I don't know. It just kind of got. I don't know. It kind of got Roger Rabbit-ish to me. It's like I just don't. I don't know. The choreography was cool. The action set pieces were pretty neat, especially when they were set in the computer. The soundtrack was pretty cool.
Nine Inch Nails, man.
It's Nine Inch Nails. It never really quite hit that. See, I feel like I'm comparing it again to
not as impactful as Daft Punk's work in Legacy. You think
exactly? Okay. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But if you're gonna make this movie's very much, the computers and everything are very materialistic. Not materialistic. Lord have mercy.
Militaristic.
Yeah. It's all about they're building it for the military, right?
Right.
So it's industrial, kind of, and it's kind of. I feel like Nine Inch Nails is a fair get. Like, I thought it was a good score for what it was trying to do.
Good fit for the I think that's a reasonable take.
I think the thrust of the movie, which I don't know if we can't really get into without spoilers, I guess. I thought it was kind of, I don't know. I thought it was kind of lame. Okay. But it's, whatever. You got to find something, right? So it's okay. I think it's okay. I think that part's okay. And yeah, I just, I don't want to get into recommendations yet, but, it's not the worst movie I've went and seen.
Did the experience of it actively piss you off in any way, like your Captain America experience earlier this year?
The end, I was like, come on with this shit, Okay,
and I agree with probably that part at a bare minimum. I probably agree with some other things you've said, and we'll get into that. But yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so that was probably the most egregious thing, but
you don't want to leave your viewer on a fuck off kind of note, but this movie kind of does that. It
was I would say moderately fun, but at the end of the day, I just kind of felt like I wasted an hour and a half. Like it just kind of, or however long it was.
2 hours, man. I think it was
2 hours.
2 hours, yeah. Probably 2+ hours if you had to sit through some trailers and such too. So
yeah, it's just kind of a wasted time. Like I didn't leave pumped. Like I think of Tron, and it could be like because it's nostalgic. I don't know, but Tron Legacy, I still just I turn it on just to watch the gladiator sequence
material,
turn it on, turn it up,
4K disc of it, and it looks pretty good.
It looks good. It sounds good.
Sounds good.
The sequence is cool. It's got cool stuff going on. This had some cool stuff going on too. I don't want to sell it short. There's a couple of cool sequences,
but does. But it's a very different type of thing that it's going for. I mean, obviously by design too, but it almost loses something because of what it's going for, which isn't to say that this movie should have just been do Legacy again.
No,
I get it,
but the pacing's kind of funky as a result, because you have to, like in the not the first Tron, the second Tron, I guess, Tron Legacy. You have the clear, you have Flynn, and he gets pulled. There's this cool sequence with him on the motorcycle, and that's cool and all, and then it hits the ground running in a big way. Mm-hmm. And this has a little bit of build up, and then you get some cool shit, but then you got to pull back, and now you're doing this.
Right.
And now you get this cool shit again. Now you pull back again. And I don't know. I feel like the pacing's wonky too. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. That's me rambling. I've gotten rambling. Apologize.
All right. No worries. What
is your opinion about this?
Yeah. So let me set things up. I mean, obviously people can probably surmise my general sense, my general sentiments of whether I liked this movie or not overall. But I did see this opening weekend. Technically, if you include the Monday of the holiday weekend, I think I mentioned this at the end of the Alien Earth episode. I saw this in Florida. I saw this at the Point Orlando IMAX.
You saw it at a proper theater too,
which is the theater that we would back in the day meet up when I still lived in Florida. I think we saw Force Awakens there, some of the like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
It was always that theater's the that's coming out. That's where we got to go to see it.
Yeah, big deal movies. Go see it in IMAX. It's a true, legit IMAX screen. I think it's not a 70 millimeter projector at this point. I think it's all digital now, but it's it's set up. It's as tall as it needs to be. It's as live as you need it to be. Is that right? Does that actually mean anything? No, I mean it's a good IMAX, and I have fondness for that IMAX screen. What I will say, just as an aside, purely an aside, Point Orlando, we went on a Monday afternoon. It was like a 4:00 showing. It was a fucking ghost town. I don't know the last time you went, but it was weird.
It's ghost town there a lot. It's kind of sad.
I don't know if that's just like malls are like dying breed these days kind of thing, or if just, I don't know. Like obviously there are places in Orlando where it's bumping, but Point Orlando was not one of them. It was weird to see. It felt like, I don't know. It was like 28 days.
No, every
later
time
shit.
I get there and it's usually dead. Now the restaurants usually have people there. The people come to the restaurants.
But even I didn't mean, it was.
Did you guys go to the pub?
We didn't go to the pub. What did we do? We went somewhere good. I think it was like something, the Stubborn Mule or something like that. It wasn't quite next to the theater. It was somewhere else. We didn't go eat somewhere at Port Orlando. I did think about going to the pub just for the full
Scotch egg
nostalgia
and that
throwback thing, but
foamy beer. I can't remember what it's called.
Was it Bellhaven maybe?
Oh, the Bellhavens. Oh my god, the Scotch egg. It's perfect. So fucking good.
Yeah. No. Well, once upon a time, we actually talked about trying to do it, because we did, obviously. We talked about it.
Timing.
That, we met up, but the timing didn't work to see the movie and then obviously be able to do horror nights and all the other stuff that we were trying to do. So it didn't happen. So Anna and I did it on the Monday. You were back to work, probably, unfortunately. But we saw it in IMAX. That's I guess what I'm trying to make the point of is we saw it in IMAX, which was fun. A good IMAX screen, a good movie candidate, like a good candidate to see in IMAX, I think, for the soundtrack, for the sound design, certainly for some of the visuals as well. And I thought the actual IMAX experience itself was definitely very cool. There was like 5 other people in the theater, which was fine.
IMAX by yourself, almost by yourself. That's crazy.
Yeah, not quite literally, but I don't know if we had anyone in the same row as us or.
What did Anna think about that theater?
I think she liked it overall. I don't know if we really talked too much about the theater. We talked a lot about the movie after. We definitely had some thoughts and opinions, which I guess, it kind of feeds into the next thing. Was Anna had never seen either Tron or Tron Legacy.
Oh, wow.
So we made a point of, for me rewatching and for her watching both of those before we flew down to Florida. And as I said, they put Legacy out in 4K, but they also put the original Tron out in 4K, like they did steel books of those. So I ended up pre-ordering those and getting those in September. So we watched them. I think I'm probably like you. Like Legacy is the one that means, the most to me. It kind of hit at that right perfect time,
Yeah.
We know when you're like 17, 18, whatever, and it's cool and it's badass and it's like awesome looking and, fucking Daft Punk, doing the score and it's Olivia Wilde, there's a lot of things
going for it. Right.
Has a lot going for it. It's like the early days of Joseph Kosinski. It was like the first or second movie he directed, now he's gone and done Top Gun and F1 and other things probably.
He directed that movie?
He did, yeah. He's gone on to do some big things.
Good chops.
And the first movie, man, like obviously it's dated in many ways. But I don't know, it's fun. It is fun, I think, overall, and obviously it's fun in the sense of like you got to look at it as something that would have been pretty novel at the time that it came out, and nowadays looks a little silly and not super sophisticated in terms of the technology, but there is a certain charm to it all, which I enjoyed, and I think there's kind of a like it kind of the thing you already talked about, like there's a few programs in there that all kind of have a little personality and and fun and like I mean, it's the only Tron movie that actually kind of focuses on a character named Tron. That sort of comes up in Legacy, but it's not a focus of it, we'll say. But Legacy is definitely kind of where like my nostalgia truly lies. And rewatching it, it's not the most well-written movie. It's not the deepest movie, but it's really fucking fun and it's really well made and like just stylish. It just drips fucking style.
Yeah, I was gonna say oozes. Yeah, drips.
It oozes
is good.
It oozes and drips it. Yes, for sure. And it's just such a fun movie, like all around. Like it's a great romp of a movie, start to finish. And obviously, you're spending probably 70% of the runtime in the grid. I mean, Jeff Bridges.
It doesn't let up.
Looks absolutely fucked, and it doesn't look any better today. It looked bad then. It looks real bad now.
That's true. Yeah.
It's, and what we've probably talked about it, anytime we've talked about it and talked about the de-aging, it's like, well, he is a computer program, so like, it's okay that he looks kind of fucked. The problem is they also have real world bits with the de-aging that looks just perhaps downright frightening. But either way, I enjoy those movies. I walked into Aries, as I've kind of said already, with low expectations, but a sort of like, I just want to have fun with it. This is a vibes-driven movie. I want a 9 Inch Nail. Like I just want 9 Inch Nails to like fucking drive the movie in the way that Daft Punk drove Legacy. I want the light cycles to be cool. I want the whatever they're calling the interceptors. I can't remember what they're actually called. I forget.
The drones.
Flying
There's
things.
drones.
Yeah, the flying drone things to be cool. Like I just want it to be cool.
The drones were cool. I like the drones.
This is a franchise. This is a movie that can get away with the rule of cool, and I think that I can overlook things if there's enough rule of cool. If there's enough cool things there, I can overlook it.
Like Jared Leto's fucking cool.
If Jared Leto was cool, that would be great. Unfortunately, that is not what happened.
Jared Leto just kind of sucks.
There's cool stuff in this movie. The 9 Inch Nails of it all is very cool. Some of the visuals are very cool, but you've got a big problem, and that's your number one. That's your main man. That's your Jared Leto, and I don't like him personally, and I'm sure people know that, and that's not a secret. And he seems to be a problematic person in terms of reputation. And I know that he's done things where he's acted and like been good in them. This is not one of them. He's real bad and like really bad in this. And a sort of like part of it is the character is intended to have, this lack of personality. They kind of flat affect for most of the movie. But you're right. You're totally fucking right. Well, why do I care that, like, why would I care about this person who I don't like? I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they're acting. I don't like the way they're behaving. The story is constructed in a way that you're like supposed to care, maybe, I think, about the way that this character is developing. But I just don't, and I think there are probably story problems that would get in the way, but I do think the simple act of anyone but Jared Leto being in this role would have improved this movie. I don't think it would make it a good movie, but it would have improved this movie. I do think Jared Leto actively makes this movie worse. That's my personal sense of it. I don't know if you agree or disagree. Like, I know you don't like him, but I don't know if you felt so strongly
I don't actively
took away from your experience.
He's in a couple movies that I like a lot, actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally. Suicide Squad, obviously number one.
Yeah, exactly. No. But I don't actively hate Jared Leto. I know you're not a fan of him, but I've never felt so strongly about him in anything in particular. But this movie, he phones in like a Jason Bateman kind, or not Jason Bateman. He phones in like a Patrick Bateman kind of.
Patrick Bateman sort of. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But it just sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in that fucking movie, by the way, and he's fine in that movie.
He was. Yeah, it's true.
Is that a raincoat?
But I totally forgot that. Yeah, it's true.
Yes, it is.
But even, Patrick Bateman had a ton of charisma. You know what I mean? When
yes. Well, you're talking about Christian Bale, of course, but totally, like that character worked. Not just because of, they're a fucking weirdo. Like, just being a fucking weirdo isn't enough. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not enough to carry it.
Yeah, I think that to me, that's definitely a big blight on this movie is just Jared Leto himself, the lack of charisma that he brings to this character that desperately needed an actor with charisma to make it work at all.
To play the badass military.
Part of it is the way the character is written. I think that part of it is definitely the way the character is written. But I think a better actor or a more well-suited actor could have
pulled something out of it.
Yeah. Pulled something out of it to at least give us something,
Give me something to care about. Right.
I have thoughts about maybe who should have played that role that I think I'll save for spoilers.
Okay.
Specifically in terms of like something that lore-wise would actually make sense for the movie, and I'm not the first person to think of it. Although I will say I did think of it independently, and I just saw other people online saying the same thing. So, what else about this movie? The writing. I think it really does come down to the writing. I think that's the biggest thing that really holds this movie back. The writing just sucks, man. The dialogue's really bad. Nothing feels natural. Everything is very forced. The humor is
terrible.
Oh man, so bad. I don't know if I laughed at anything in this like intentionally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I laughed because it's bad.
The little attempts from humor from Ares are fucking god awful. There's a couple sort of borderline comic relief characters that just feel like a huge waste of screen time and just suck the air out of the room anytime they're there. There was no one that really was able to rescue this. And dare I say it, even Jeff Bridges could not do anything to rescue this movie.
Although I think, in my personal opinion, his sequence was the best.
It was interesting. We'll get into it. Honestly, if I had to, if there was one actor who I think actually fucking went for it and tried their best, it would be Evan Peters, as the villain, as Dillinger. I think he was the only one that had personality. His character, is flying off the handle and doing some stupid shit, but it does kind of feel like, all right, someone kind of sucked into their own world and who kind of goes off the deep end. I kind of get it from that standpoint, but I think he was the only performance in this whole thing that really actually like felt like, oh, I like what you brought to the table. Everyone else was either fine or bad. Like Greta Lee is like basically the co-lead, if you will. And that she was fine. She brought, to me, nothing really special. She wasn't she didn't detract from the movie, but
No.
just kind of nothing there. You know, and yeah, I think, I don't know. I was disappointed with this, which is kind of crazy because it's like I came in with pretty low expectations and it was still worse than that. You know, and it just didn't have enough stuff that like there were parts of this movie, and part of it I will say is it was a long weekend. Did, you know, fucking 12, 15 miles of walking or whatever it was on the Saturday, and then had a wedding on Sunday.
Yeah, this is a moment of respite for you, right?
You know, like, you know, it was a classic thing where it's like, all right, I don't have anything in my system. I'm just going to sit, and I'm in a dark room. I'm like, oh, this chair is pretty comfortable right now. And it wasn't even like a nice recliner. It was just like, this feels nice. And there were points in this movie where I started to feel myself drift, and it's like, because there are parts of this movie
starting to fall asleep a little bit
that are fucking boring. Just completely uninteresting.
The pacing sucks.
And I think the action is fairly well choreographed and interestingly constructed. And I think like the light cycle stuff is cool and all. But you're right. It's just not enough. It's kind of sporadic, and then it slows. It crawls to a halt for 20 minutes. And it's like, oh God, this is a really shit attempt at character development. And I don't fucking care about anyone or anything. Fuck, this sucks. And yeah, so, I mean, I can't, I really wanted to just vibe with this movie and just enjoy it for the spectacle and enjoy it for the 9 Inch Nails of it all. And I felt, I think the score is fucking cool. I listened to it a lot before the movie came out, and I think the score is cool. I think it's not Daft Punk. It's different at the same time, but I don't, you know, I think part of it is like Legacy's a fun, cool fucking movie. And that Daft Punk thing, like maybe something that was like a 6 out of 10, like Daft Punk alone brings it up another point to a 7. Whatever you want to assign numbers, that Daft Punk of it all adds a point to the score. 9 Inch Nails adds half a point to the score here, you know, and it's starting lower, so you're ending still lower overall. And I like the 9 Inch Nails, but one of my biggest disappointments was like I thought we were going to get like a fucking badass like closing title sequence or something, you know, As Alive As You Need Me to Be, like fucking plan, which, you know, is like a fucking banger. And we got the ending that we got. We'll get there. And spoilers, no real closing, just you get the crawl, you know, the you know, the everyone's names, you know, listed out, you know, just crawling along. And it's like they chopped up the music, you know, you get like 20 seconds of it, and then it chops into a different part of the song, and it's just you get like fucking like 30 seconds of the song overall, maybe a minute. And I'm like, this is like your big thing that you like promoted the movie with, and it's not even in the movie itself until the end, and then the end is just such a wet fart of an ending that like it just gives you the credits rolling, and you're just like, fuck you. Like it was a double fuck you of just the ending itself being fucking, oh, Jesus Christ. And then like not even giving me the satisfaction of like, oh, here we go. You know, here's a badass, you know, Marvel, you know, Disney style fucking, you know, badass music with, you know, directed by, written by, oh, here's Jared Leto in big letters, you know, like, just give me that. We got a little bit of it in the beginning, and like, honestly, the first 5 minutes of this movie were my favorite part of the movie. And you know why? 2 reasons why it was my favorite part of the movie.
Why?
Number 1, badass 9 Inch Nails. Yeah, Number 2, cool. Ares is wearing a helmet the entire fucking time.
That's true.
So you don't know who's under.
Yeah, it was the sequence where they were training the program.
Yeah, we're training him up, right? You know, and he's like learning how to be better. It was cool. This movie peaked in the first 5 minutes. This movie peaked at its fucking title card.
This is a small peak, and
it was a small peak. It was like a 4 out of 10 peak, 5 out of 10 peak. No, I'll say 6 out of 10 peak.
But you were
worked
like,
itself back.
Maybe this movie's gonna be pretty cool.
Totally. I thought, oh, all right. I'm like in, and it was IMAX, man. Like it was like, you know, I was like, oh, okay. You know, like I had a little smile on my face.
Yeah.
You know? This puts a smile on my face. And then he takes the helmet off, and then the smile just slowly just works its way into
you hear him talk for the first time.
A grimace for the hour and 45 minutes after it. And then the credit sequence, I'm ready for the big smile again. Give me that 9 Inch Nails goodness. Oh, you're going to chop up this fucking badass song. And then, ay is what I say about Tron Ares. Yeah, no, I mean, that's it. It's not good when your movie peaks in the first 5 minutes. It's my personal opinion.
There's some movies with some really high beginnings, like Up. Up's a real good movie.
Totally. That's true. Yeah, I mean, one could argue
I don't know if
the
you would
opening
say that would
sequence
be
in
the
Up
peak
is
of the movie, but I mean, but still.
the difference is even if that is
memorable.
better, the rest of the movie is still good. This is a very much, all right, you've got maybe 1 5-minute good segment, and then maybe a little bit here and there. Like, yeah, you obviously want to start with the bang. You don't, like movies can recover from a slow start if they finish strong. It's not ideal, but it certainly can be done.
Yeah.
But the worst thing to do is to start strong and then just slowly fucking dip the entire way, or just not even slowly, just immediately off a fucking cliff at some point, and then you're at the bottom of that cliff for a long time, and an uncomfortable amount of time. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'll finish my rambling by just making that point as well. What do we do? Recommendation.
Recommendations.
If you're ready for that. Recommendation wise, since this is a movie still in theaters, we'll have to say, would you recommend that people see this in theaters? Wait for the ability to watch at home, be it VOD or streaming. I mean, I guess obviously there's a bit of a delineation there of, hey, would you say spending $20 or $25 to rent/buy it is worth it? Or should they just wait for the built-in cost of a Disney Plus subscription? Should they wait till someone pays them to watch it? Is it that bad? Yeah. Where does it stack up in that line of things?
Ben came at me. We were slow at work. He came at me. So we'll just rank it. Just rank it 1 to 10. And I said,
we can do it that way too.
No, well, I mean, I'll give you all. I'll give you and the listeners all my rankings, because I went through a plethora of rankings with him.
All right.
1 to 10, I said 5 to 6. That's what I said for this movie. 5 to 6, 5 out of 10. Okay. He asked me what I thought the Rotten Tomatoes would be. I said, I feel like it's probably a 5 or 50 or 60% movie. And I don't think I was too far off at the, whenever he asked me.
No, that's pretty accurate.
And then I said that I tell you when I'd watch this movie. I would watch this movie if I was in a hotel room.
I had the exact same thought before we recorded. I was just being like, not to totally just jump in, but like the only time I feel like I'm ever gonna watch this movie again is when it's halfway through and it's on a hotel.
That's
TV.
right.
I'm like, all right, I could do worse than this, and I would feel the same way. I mean, I think that Legacy is better than this is a hotel movie, but Legacy is like a great hotel movie. You know what
Legacy's
I mean? Like,
a great
you can just
hotel
jump
movie.
in. And it's just fun, man. Like, you can jump right in. You don't need to worry about the fact that you missed the first 30 minutes. No one cares. Or if you can't finish it, it's fine.
With Legacy, I actually specifically tune in 45 minutes in. I just drop it right there.
And that's fine. And I do think that this is, again, not anywhere like close to Legacy, but it has the very same sort of thing of just being like, it's probably pretty fun to watch some of these just sequences when you're not even trying to be invested in the movie. You're just like, cool shit, If you don't care about the fact that like none of the story and the character development works at all, and you're just here for like, I just need to watch something and be entertained for 20 minutes.
Well, I get ready.
I need to go do something.
Or before I
just
fall
background
asleep.
noise. I'm like
whatever.
in the bathroom for 5 minutes of this, and I come back and I'm like, what happened? Oh, I don't care. Like it's totally fine for that. I fucking fully agree.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. So if you say sticking to our watch it in theaters, stream it, or wait till somebody pays you, I would say stream it and stream it for free. If we're gonna kick it to the old school ranking, I think hotel movie is the hotel movies where I personally landed on it. So
yeah, I mean, so like numerically, I think worse of this movie. Like, I think 5 is extremely generous. I think.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
I think 4 is probably my very generous. Like, the things that like the 9 Inch Nails of it all. Takes it from a 3.5 quality of the movie to a 4, just because I got to give it up for Trent and Atticus at least putting their share of the work in. Doing what they can. if nothing else, we got a new fucking Nine Inch Nails album.
That's
got
cool.
4 tracks with vocals, and we got a pretty cool score. Like, at the end of the day, this movie accomplished something, and that's putting more Nine Inch Nails into the world.
It's true.
I can live with that. Now, unfortunately, the movie itself just has too many issues. It's just bad pacing, bad dialogue, kind of a dumb overall story, a bad lead performance, mediocre performances all around. Like, you really stack it all up, and it's like,
it's kind of a shit. Right.
What is good about this movie? And the answer is really not a lot. Not a lot. I mean, and how much of it is like so fucking bad? I mean, a lot of it's pretty bad. It's not the worst thing. Could be the worst thing I've seen this year. I'd have to fact check that, but like, it just there was pieces there that could have worked. I don't think there's a version of this movie as shot that is good. Like, I don't think this is a butchered and editing kind of movie. I think this is just from the inception kind of ass kind of movie.
I would agree with you there.
But there's a version of this story of, some of these characters, this world building that like could have worked. I think the central conceit of what if the grid, but in real life, could have worked. I don't know if it's what I wanted, but it could have worked, man. It could have worked.
The way that they realized it, I see that it could be.
And it makes for some cool stuff here and there.
Yeah.
It's sporadic, but where it is, it's pretty cool. But on the whole, yeah, there's just a lot of bad. There's too much bad to really overcome. So I think for anyone that's a fan of Tron or is okay with something that's kind of mindless and they're not going to be too fussed about that, I think Disney Plus is fine. Like, it's cool enough looking. It probably pops nicely in 4K. You get that Nine Inch Nails score that probably sounds real nice too.
I just had a thought. Not to cut you off, but like,
go ahead.
In Legacy, the characters that were like cardboard cutouts, like they just existed for a thing, were the ones that kept the helmet on.
Yeah. Right.
Mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, those were the gladiator
like people working
characters.
for Clue and just random programs and stuff. Yeah.
And that worked out really well. Like, I don't give a shit about them just because they're there for combat. You know what I mean?
Cannon fodder,
That was cool. Anyways, that was my random thought. So I didn't mean to derail you, but
de-res me. It's not bad enough overall. It's not Trent
Hellboy.
And Atticus alone rescue this. It's not Hellboy. It's not Wrinkle in Time. It is absolutely a cut. It is a cut above that tier of just absolute fucking dog shit.
Waste of time.
It's not much higher than those. It's definitely a waste of time. But it's not that bad. So I am going to stick it in the very low end of the watch it at home, wait for streaming, borderline hotel movie. If like you can't even be fucked to try it on Disney Plus, like that's fine too. Like you're not missing anything in your life. Look, the people that like were like, yeah, I'm not going to go show up and watch this in a theater. They were onto something. They sniffed it out.
That was almost
it out
me
correctly. And it was you, and I saw it, and I thought at least I had to be quite honest. This is maybe selfish of me and maybe dickish of me, but I was like, I don't think Andrew's going to feel any better about this movie than I will. But I need someone to talk to this, I need
talk
him
through it.
We've had a good run this year, because we've been so choosy with our movies. I think
that's true.
Like Captain America really was probably the last movie that either of us watched in theaters and was just like, come on, man. All right. That's it. That's, you spent how much money on this fucking thing, and that's what you came up with, and so we were due for something like this. It's cathartic in some ways to commiserate and
yes.
And and I think
and I want to
you've brought up things that I didn't even think about, which is, sorry that I inconvenienced.
No, you didn't inconvenience me. I'm glad I watched it because it's the movie that you went and saw. You want to talk about. Ben wanted my opinion of it. I'm glad that I am glad that I could give my opinion about it, and I want to get into spoilers because I think I might be able to bump.
You can do that whenever you're ready.
I think I might be able to bump maybe not, but I want to share with you in detail the things that I enjoyed about this movie that kept it from dipping below a 5. Because dipping below a 5 to me is I'm starting to actively get pissed off with the use of my time. You know what I mean?
Well, I did feel that in moments, so
yeah,
maybe we felt differently about things. But either way, full spoilers. I think we're ready. Full spoilers for Tron Ares. Tell me what you liked. Convince me. Convince me. This is we're doing like a bro podcast now, like convince me I'm wrong sort of thing.
Computer moments. The computer moments were great.
Not
stuff. All of them.
I agree.
We're going to start with super user.
Super user.
Commander user. What's he called? Master user.
Oh yeah, like the big face thing.
Yeah, the big face. I like
Evan
the big
Peters'
face.
big face guy. I like a big face. That was in the original Tron Master Control program.
Master Control, that's what they call him. You are Master Control. And he's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay.
I like that. That's towards the beginning mostly. I agree. Yeah. All right.
The montage of combat showing him learning how to kick ass was
that was cool.
Pretty cool. Kind of got shit on towards the end of the movie because he was really struggling to kick people's ass, even though like he just trained relentlessly. Like maybe they just copied that combat training to other programs, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they only trained him in one form of martial arts, and they're like, oh wait, how many are there? We didn't think about that.
I like the the way that they realized computer things in this movie, right? So like, there's a sequence where he's trying to hack into Incom.
Oh yeah, and there's like an actual infiltration sequence.
Yeah, where they're breaking through a firewall, which is pretty awesome.
I agree. That was cool. I did forget about that sequence. That was a cool sequence. I agree with that. Yes.
I think that it was cool. The one thing that wasn't present in the other Trons, at least I don't think, were the drones, and they're like those long like flying things that take incredibly sharp turns. It was in the jet ski sequence, which was shit, but those flying drone things were pretty menacing. I thought they were pretty cool. And then they actually shoot out of the giant, like, the thing with the legs when it goes into the city.
Right. Yeah,
and it shoots out a million of them. I saw that in the trailer and I was like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of like fucking lame. But then it actually, they started flying through the city like they did in the Tron world. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's pretty crazy. I thought that was pretty cool. I also liked they did the Praetorian Guard thing with like the light staffs. They had the staffs that made the light beams of the light cycles, and they used it like in combat. Like they would generate the beam of light and then like kick off of the light in combat.
Oh yeah.
Or like slide along it to get around somebody.
Yeah,
and I thought that was really
kind of
cool.
clever like usage of that. Yeah,
I thought that was pretty neat. I
mean, so far I agree with everything. The grid stuff was cool. There just wasn't enough of it.
The 80s grid stuff. I thought that was pretty fun.
Grid stuff. I thought that was really fun. That was really cool. Really fun throwback.
You are a bit like he kept acting like his shitty like
yes.
And then homie comes in there and he's like old school humor. Right on, man. He's just Jeff Bridges, which is cool.
Jeff Bridges is great. I like Jeff Bridges a lot. I didn't love the way that he was included in this. It felt a little shoehorned in for me. Part of it is like he's a major character in the first Tron. He's obviously a major character in Legacy and like in multiple ways where Clue is kind of this digitally younger version of him that is kind of the enemy at that point. But like Flynn dies at the end of Legacy, or at least blows up in some capacity, sacrifices himself so that his son and Cora can escape into the real world. Him back, and then her. She's like a big deal. Like she's an ISO. So like he's kind of like envisioned like she's the cure to cancer. She's the answer to so many questions that we haven't been able to answer. on Earth, in the real world. And so it's a big deal, like this moment. And here it kind of just felt like look, it's Jeff Bridges, it's Tron, so Jeff Bridges has to be here sort of thing. And I think that it's something, as is the case, I think, a lot with legacy movies, of which obviously Tron Legacy was one, and this is in kind of a way because it's 15 years after Legacy came out. It's the kind of thing that I think works better if you haven't just watched the thing before it. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
If like the Jurassic movie is probably the same way. Like, oh, it's fucking Jeff Goldblum back, or I don't know. Like if you're doing these things that are like sort of the callback, thing, but if you just watch the thing, then it just kind of feels like they're doing the same shit again. Like Beetlejuice had like a musical sequence, but it's just like, yeah, but it's not as good as the other one. And it's like, fine if you have nostalgia for that one from 10 years or 20 years earlier, 30 years earlier, whatever the fucking time difference is. But when, like, for something like this where I was like, I just watched this character die, and now it's like a artifact version of him that's like embedded in the grid, but he looks like old Flynn
when he should be young Flynn.
And I'm like, and there's some bullshit explanation of like why he's there and why he looks this way, and it's like, I don't know. I love Jeff Bridges. I like the Jeff Bridges of it all. It's fine.
I like the 80s look, the 80s aesthetic.
The look and feel of it is really fun. It's really cool, and I think that's a great fun callback, and it's something that Legacy didn't do. Legacy had that very, very pristine, modern, digital look and feel for the grid, and this had that, and the Dillinger grid. And then when you go back into this, and the Incom grid, right? Yeah, one's red and one's, I guess, blue or green or whatever. And then you got this, which is this fucking vibe. This is 80s vibe, where it's kind of shitty and janky looking, and when the light cycle travels, it's the straight lines
ring,
and stuff, like
yeah,
pinging around. Like it is totally cool, and I really like that. I thought it was really fun and kind of a really fun callback that wasn't something that was done in Legacy. It was just the actual story side of it, and this, it's also part of this journey of Ares having emotions and, his own desires and stuff like that. And then, I don't know, like the things I remember are just like, I just really like Depeche Mode, I'm like,
oh, it's the whole, Patrick Bateman thing.
Yeah. I just, that's the thing that I remember is like, just real bad fucking dialogue and like maybe it's a joke, I don't know, but I just,
if it is, it's not landing. I think my favorite thing was the thing that made the computers think, or made the programs think about humanity and their humanity, was rain. The thing that fucks them all up is rain.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm being wet. There's wet.
What is this feeling?
This bullshit. That's fucking stupid. That pissed me off so bad. Both times. Yeah, it started raining on top of the hangar, and Jared Leto's like, oh, what is that? Oh, it's wet. And then they're in mid-combat and it starts to rain or whatever. She's like, oh, here's this feeling. What is this? Oh, it's fucking wet. This is bullshit. Yeah. I didn't like that at all. But I'm trying to convince you that it's slightly higher than a 4. The computer stuff I thought was pretty cool. It was all right, with the exception of the jet ski. Was not a fan of the jet ski sequence. Aside from the seeker drones. The seeker drones were cool in that sequence, but they fell into like the fake water, and she's like touching it, and it's like little bits or whatever. I thought that was kind of stupid. Plus, it was like a whole thing where she's like holding onto the back of Jared Leto while he's riding riding the jet ski.
Yeah, see, there was like a couple moments where when he's like, "Oh, this is my boyfriend." Like it's like a joke. It's like sort of played as a joke, and I'm like, was there a love story in this movie at one point? And everyone was like, "Oh, this is weird and bad. We should cut this." And there was just remnants of it. There were moments where it just felt like they were trying to put that there, and I was like, please, for the love of everything holy in this world, do not put that in this fucking movie. They didn't. So whether it was there or not, that's speculation on my part. I have no concrete evidence as to point to it, other than just like there was moments of weirdness where it just felt like,
fucking weird. Don't. It felt weird. That's true.
Maybe it's just Jared Leto being in the room with someone. Everyone just gets like weird vibes instantly. Like everyone's just like,
what is the deal?
I'm okay.
I watched the thing with Jared Leto during the premiere of this movie where there was like one of the Elon bots, like doing combat, like karate moves, and like
I don't know what happened there. There was also a thing. It could have been a fun fact that apparently Disney at one point or whoever thought about actually having a legit AI like character in the movie, like made with AI, and then someone at some point was like, "That's a terrible fucking idea. Let's not do that." Which is also good, Again, I don't know how far along that plan was made. If it was just like, "What if we did this?" and everyone's just like, "No."
How about we don't?
Or if it was, "Yeah, we do," and then someone finally had to put their foot down and be like, "That's not going to be worth the the trouble." I don't know. I mean, I said I agree. I think that the computer stuff, the grid stuff, is pretty cool. I think that for the most part, the sequences of taking them out of the grid and putting them in the real world is cool. The throwback
nuke
grid
thing
is cool, man. The nuke
thing actually kind of made me laugh. Jared Leto's discovering his humanity. The guy gets his leg chopped off, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come back and save you." So he throws his triangle disc around in there and breaks them all up, and they're climbing back. He's like, "I'm not gonna leave you behind." And they look up, and there's this giant fucking red ball of destruction traveling down like the main thing.
Okay.
And it it nukes everybody.
Just obliterates them. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know what you meant at first. Like nuke. I was like, wait, was there a nuke?
No, it's like it was like
this turned into a Mission Impossible movie in the third act, and I slept through that. Okay.
He fucked him up in a big way, and then he gets back and he wakes up in the big face room, and he's like, "Why didn't you bring that guy back?"
Right.
He was defective.
Right. Yes.
Because they both licked their face when they looked up and saw that red thing coming down. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
It was the.
I don't know, man. Got anything else? Got anything else to convince me to bump this a point? I'm just not seeing it. I think that's what gets it to the fore for me. The 9 Inch Nails and the cool computer stuff gets it to the fore. I think there's a lot of bad stuff outside of that just really,
I don't know, dude. I don't know if I can
movie.
get you over the 5.
And we're splitting hairs. I think at the end of the day, I don't think we really feel
terribly far apart. We're not terribly far apart.
I think there were things that just bothered me more than you, or that you were feeling more generous about. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Maybe you had a couple brews or something. I don't know.
No, I didn't have any brews. I actually saw that one.
I was tired sober. and in starting to lose patience the longer it went on. I think perhaps. I mean, what we can also agree on, the fucking ending was just.
Oh, with him in like Italy or some shit?
Yeah, like
how'd you even get there? How'd you get to Italy? And then with that, you get to Italy, and you got your fucking, I don't know. I didn't like the look of him in Italy or wherever he's at,
No, he was just Jared Leto. That's the problem, man. Like, he's just Jared Leto. Like, that could have just been in a car commercial or a motorcycle commercial. You know what I mean? Like, none of it felt Tron or...
He did that fucking burnout in the middle of like the fucking
evolution...
Square. You're just being a dick.
Yeah,
just being a dick.
Yeah, you're just being a dick, man.
People are walking around eating their cafe
that's
or
just
whatever.
It. Like, you know what? Fuck Ares. I don't like Ares. Ares sucks. He's stupid, and he's a weird guy. He makes everyone feel uncomfortable anytime he's in a room with them. And
what's his deal for real?
Like, what's his deal? Like, why are we supposed to care about this character? Name like one thing about this character that's like something that would make you like this character. Because I just don't think there's anything there. You know what I mean? Like,
and he was written that way.
He was written that way. And again, he was written that way. And it felt like there was like trying the attempts at levity, and like, he's got a little quirky personality and stuff like that. And I think Jared Leto's performance,
he didn't
prevented those moments from landing. I don't know. And so here's my proposed solution is jettison Jared Leto from this project. At least from an acting standpoint, he did produce it. He was instrumental in getting this movie made, because this movie went through some development hell, where it was originally a direct sequel to Legacy with Garrett Hedlund and Olivia Wilde coming back, and then that didn't happen, and then Jared Leto kind of got involved. And I do think, like, kind of once he got involved and got his, got into the ear of people, making, that were in charge of, ponying up the bucks for this, that he was a big part of why the movie ended up getting made. So, he's going to cast himself in the lead role. All right, fine, whatever. Don't do that. You can produce this movie. You can, you're a huge Tron fan or whatever, and you want to make a new Tron movie, and it's been 15 years since the last one. Like, fine, I totally get it. Like, all right, make the thing. But I think just have the self-awareness. And I think that, to me, the proposed solution is do the classic fucking Tron thing. In Tron, the first movie, Tron looks like Alan, and Clue looks like Kevin, Jeff Bridges' character, and the Sark, the kind of one of the bad guys, looks like fucking Dillinger.
Have Derringer play the Ares?
Have Evan Peters pull some double duty here. Evan Peters as Ares is way, I think it's different. I could buy a version of Evan Peters.
Evan Peters has the charisma to.
Has the charisma, had the charm, I think, as Dillinger, but to have him as a different version of this character who isn't long hair, bearded Jared Leto, which I think is part of it too. Honestly, just even shaving the fucking beard off Jared Leto. you want to give me long hair, bearded Jared Leto at the end? Fine. That would almost make sense as a different version of the Ares character instead of why does he look this way in the first place? It's just dumb. It's just because that's what Jared Leto looks like these days, and he refuses to look any differently for a fucking movie at this point in his career. But yeah, I think Evan Peters would have brought a lot to that character, and I think the Depeche Mode jokes might have actually fucking landed coming out of Evan Peters' mouth, and I think that any weird moments between Evan Peters and Greta Lee wouldn't have felt like, oh God, don't touch her. Ugh, stay away from her. Stay away from him. I think that it might have been fine. I don't think you needed it. I don't think you should have done it. And I think it's fine that it wasn't there, but I wouldn't have felt like, oh no, my skin's crawling,
Why does he give that vibe? I think it would have removed
a lot of the weirdness.
He gives that vibe. During the jet ski scene, she wakes up and he's over her, and I'm like, oh God. And she fucking scurries out from underneath him.
It's a fucking jump scare. It's sort of played as that, but it also just is, I think he's just an unsettling presence. Looks, feel, everything about him is just uncomfortable. Very uncomfy. And I think it's just been that way for a while, and I think it's because he himself is just a fucking weirdo and makes no secrets of it and no qualms about it, and people have again
said as such,
made some allegations about the company he keeps or the company he tries to keep and the younger crowd that he might skew towards and such, but it's just a vibes thing, man.
He's kind of got the weird eyes a little bit. He just
skeeves you out, just like something about him. Just I don't like it. I don't like him. It makes me uncomfortable. It can work for characters, and I get the intent here of he's a fucking, emotionless program, but it worked for the Blade Runner character a little bit more than it did for something like this, I think. So anyway, you got anything else?
No, that's all I got, dude. That's all I got. I could not pull you over to the other side with the fact that they had a firewall and they broke through it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Again, there was cool stuff in this. There was just too much bad. I think the bad outweighs the good by pretty good margin.
Yeah.
And I think that with there's a way to, like I said, to make this movie better than it was, and it wasn't a matter of re-editing this or reconstructing this movie. It's changing a lot in the production process. I think that's how to really fix this, and it's just, I don't know. Yeah.
Did you see how far the not Ares, but his coworker or co-programmer, whatever, shoved her master user thing in the mom of Derringer?
I don't remember specifically.
I thought maybe
a big stabbing, right? She
gets stabbed in the but that triangle thing's the size of her entire torso.
Oh yeah. Oh right, the disc.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, yeah.
I remember I was sitting in the theater and I was like, Jesus
Any
Christ!
Means necessary, man.
They shoved that whole thing in her. It
I feel like she lasts a little while longer. I mean, obviously, she still does die.
It's your fault. Oh, man. Some of the shit was pretty laughable. Anyways, that's all I got.
All right, the last thing that I will regale you with our listeners with is the mid-credit sequence. You didn't bother sticking around, as you would have seen in the main part of the movie. Dillinger puts himself in the grid. He digitizes himself. So the mid-credit scene is a follow-up to that. It's him in the grid. He picks up this identity disc, which transforms him into the likeness of Sark, which was the original like Dillinger commander, like Ares equivalent from the very first Tron movie. So it's like that costume from it. So it's sequel bait of sorts.
It's like he picks up his identity disc. Is that pretty much what it is?
Pretty much it. And then it like puts this costume on him, and then that's it. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
It's set up for a sequel that
it's a hell of a lot better ending than having what's his face in fucking Italy or whatever.
It is. It literally is. I mean, I think that
scrap that one Jared Leto wanted and put that one in there.
Yeah, and like there's even a way to just have it like Ares is in the world. Yeah, just that actual particular manner, and I fully agree. I think there's a way to do it. I still don't give a shit.
How about Ares fucking dies doing something with his humanity that he got? That'd be pretty good.
Sure, that'd be fine too.
He sacrifices himself to protect his love interest because now he has humanity. That'd be good.
That would be fine. We could do that. Yeah,
bullshit.
No, there's like
the ending was bullshit.
There's a number of ways that this movie could have been fixed in the production process that could have turned it into a worthwhile Tron movie.
Ares is sending me postcards.
Right? Yeah. Fuck off. Eve, I am in Italy. I've found a motorcycle. It's not quite a light cycle, but I find the way that it rides to be soothing and. I've listened to Depeche Mode. Yeah, just get
the fuck out of here.
At best, it's corny. At worst, it's just pure fucking cringe, and it is just pure fucking cringe. It's just eye rolling shit, man. Like just
put on my glasses and do a fucking burnout in the middle of this cafe.
Yeah. Again, just fuck off. Fuck you. Anyway. Yeah, it leaves this movie in a place where it's just like you're setting up a Tron 4 that is definitely never going to happen. There's little things about like what Sam Flynn been up to, because he was the CEO of Encom and then now he's not, and then Cora, who's a fucking the first program to break from the grid into the real world. Like there's like teases and little bits of that, but it's like, why didn't you just fucking make that movie instead of making like Tron 2.5? Of this little side story that like really doesn't do a whole lot other than like this could have been a comic book. This could have been a prequel comic book to the real Tron 3, but instead we had to have a Jared Leto vanity project that no one watched because everyone saw right through it.
That's what it felt like. It felt like a vanity project.
It was. We talked about it. We struggled to figure out what the fuck's the last thing this guy did on his own. Is Morbius. There's a reason no one cast Jared Leto as the fucking lead role in a movie. The only time that like Jared Leto was the lead role in a movie is when it's number one, either just dog shit Sony villain Marvel movie, or Jared Leto is produced and decided, who would be a really good actor that could really pull off this Ares character? There's only one performer that could do it.
Jared Leto. I feel like Jared Leto talks about
in the third person. He for sure does. Absolutely.
There's one. Jared Leto.
Well, it's so funny. All right, I will actually close. I'm not going to look it up, but IMDb, I sometimes browse through the trivia for inspiration for a fun fact if I need to have one. And obviously you were prepared. You had one here, so we were good. But there's something about him staying fully in character as Ares the entire time on set. And I'm like, of course he did. Fucking loser.
I read that. Of course he did. Everybody acknowledged.
But it's Jeff Bridges was just like, I'm not fucking doing that, man. Which 100% respect. 110% respect for Jeff Bridges being like, fuck you. I don't care if you're a producer.
What are you smoking,
I'm
man?
fucking Jeff Bridges. I'm Tron. You're not Tron. I'm not literally Tron. And I'll also say that. We're Tron. How are you going to make a Tron movie without fucking Tron in it? Stupid. But anyway. All right.
I could picture somebody going up to Jeff. Hey, Jeff, Jared wants you to call him Aries because that's his name in the movie. He's not breaking character the whole time.
I'm not fucking doing that.
Fuck that guy. I'm not calling him Aries. I'm going to call him Jared. He called him Air. I think is what he said, right? He settled on Air.
Air.
I'm going to call him Air. I'm not calling him Aries. That guy's fucking stupid.
Absolutely disgusting.
That's so funny.
Anyway, I think we have to leave it there. We've ranted about this movie. Well, I think longer than we did about Bad Alien.
Well, that's just what happens when you have something that I think we're both very passionate about, and
we were passionate.
It didn't do as well as we'd like it to do. You know,
right? Like I'm not a huge Tron fan. I don't think either Tron movie is amazing.
Tron Legacy is pretty fucking cool.
They bring a lot more to the table than this movie definitely did, or really even seemed to strive for. Like, yeah, I will stick with the 4K steelbooks of Tron and Tron Legacy, and if I buy anything Tron Ares related, it will be the vinyl of these score / soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a good place to put a plug in it, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, 1 week since we talked Alien Earth, is there any one we were trying to rework this section of catching up to be a little bit more streamlined and save the rambling and ranting of here I watched this and that, and then we did kind of get caught up a little bit talking about
old the habits die
things
hard,
on the last episode. Exactly. So we're gonna work on that. So is there like one maybe big thing or one or two bigger things in the last week that you feel like you want to talk about?
I actually had my birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a thing.
I think, right? I think I actually had my birthday. And Sarah threw a birthday party for me at the house. It was nice. Had everybody had most people I love at the house, which was pretty nice. But I think the biggest one happened today.
You're just saying that most of the people that you love were at the house, or that you loved most of the people at the house?
No. Everyone. Well, no, I loved everybody at the house.
Okay, good.
But it wasn't everybody. It wasn't an exhaustive list of everybody I love at that.
There wasn't there one asshole. I'm like, why
are you fucking here?
No, why?
Jared, what are you doing here, dude?
Jared, get out of there. You were not invited to the party. I know you invited yourself. Please leave.
Sorry, Aries. Why are you here? No, I think the biggest one happened today. I got a phone call today after Bennett left school.
Okay.
And Bennett poo-pooed in the potty.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I was like, oh no, this is either going to be like good or bad, because he's been hulking on some kids from what I understand.
He has. He's actually, I feel like we're getting out of that a little bit, which is
terrible
nice.
twos or whatever, he's
ebbs and flows, you know what I mean? You just have to kind of like, when he starts getting out, you got to kind of like reel him back in. Let him know it's not nice, that sort of thing. We've been doing a lot of timeout. He's been having to get the timeout.
But he did the terrible number 2.
Sarah says, "You want to tell Dada what you did today?" He says, "Poo poo potty, Dada." I'm like, oh no way, dude! Poo poo in the potty. And I was in the shop whenever they called me. Poo poo in the potty. I screamed it and everybody started laughing in the shop, But yeah, Bennett poo pooed in the potty. Right? It's a cornerstone.
It's an important thing to learn how to do, I think, Yeah,
most of us strive to do it. Sometimes I fall short of that, but I've
been in plenty of public restrooms. It seems to be a struggle sometimes for many, based on what I've seen in my day. And then tonight, Nolan is starting to enter the bad teething. Okay.
He's been there for like the past week, where it's starting to like irritate him late at night, but we're starting to get into the rough teething where he's like,
okay, yeah,
where you can't really soothe him a whole lot, So, anyways, that's kind of where we're at. I started. Not to get too exhaustive here, but I am really excited about the book that I started a couple days ago, and that's 1984.
George Orwell.
Orwell. Yeah, I actually downloaded 2 Orwell books. So I'm going to do them back to back. That's 1984 and Animal Farm. Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm real excited about those. like chapter 6 of 1984.
Because it's maybe relevant to the times we're living in, and particular inspiration. Okay.
Yeah, and it's really interesting too because the Orwell like experienced, like it's almost like he experienced things that are like parallel like what we're experiencing in a certain way. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
And it's interesting to see a fictionalized version of that was inspired by events that are similar to ours. You know what I mean? And I think that's
okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I think it's really interesting, and it's interesting when you spot things in the book that are eerily similar to things that are actually happening in real life, which I do or do not. I have, I don't necessarily think that they happened in history, but they happen. They happen today. You know what I mean? I think it's an interesting thing. So, anyways, 1984 by Orwell. So, kind of a classic couple books. And Animal Farm, I think his Animal Farm's a movie too. I recall watching that a long time ago. But
I think there's a new version of it coming out soon. That's like computer animated and Andy Serkis directed.
Really?
We'll talk about it on maybe another episode where I think there's a trailer for it. I might have put it on.
I have to look that up.
Keep tabs on the news and trailers just so that have finger on the pulse of what is coming out. But I'll see if we can circle back around to it because it looked bizarre from what I recall.
I'm going to look that up when we get off of this. So yeah. But that's pretty much all I've been up to. What about you, dude?
Well, as I said, it's the last week of October that we're recording this, so it's kind of the final part of spooky season. Although I think, as in years past, we're probably going to extend it into November because I feel like we were traveling for a lot of October, as I would have talked about on the Alien episode. I feel like I missed a little bit, and then I obviously spent some time watching Alien, which fit the bill. Definitely had some moments of terror and such, but. So we found ourselves this past weekend figuring out what should we watch, that might be spooky, and we ended up settling on something that I think actually ties into episode 300 and a director that made my list of shame of I should watch more of their movies. We picked a Hitchcock movie to watch, and we watched the movie Vertigo, which neither of us had ever seen before. Stars Jimmy Stewart and Kim Novak. I don't know if you've seen Vertigo.
I think I have seen Vertigo. I think that's one of the few of his movies that I actually have seen.
Yeah. I didn't really know a lot about it other than, certainly what I could ascertain from it being called Vertigo. It's a wild fucking movie. It's, it's not like a horror. It's more of a thriller, psychological thriller sort of thing. But one of the things I love, and this happened, I think, with watching Incendies, I think I would have talked about this on episode 300. It was one of Denny's earlier movies. Is there's like a twist, and it's like it's nice to like go however long in your life without being spoiled on like a twist sort of thing. So Vertigo is a 1958 movie, and there's a point in the movie where it kind of reveals what's actually happening, what's going on here. And I didn't know anything about it. It's like, certainly like, no, I am your father. Like there are twists, big things that have just entered, pop culture and just mainstream that like you just know that it's a twist. Right. Like even if you hadn't seen the thing, you still know about it. So it was nice to be surprised by a movie like Vertigo, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Jimmy Stewart. And pretty much everything I've seen him in.
It's not the movie I thought it was. Sorry, I haven't seen this one.
Oh, yeah, of course. I would recommend it. It's good. We had it as part of a 4K Hitchcock collection, which I think has Psycho and The Burrs and Rear Window in it as well. So it's like a pretty good little set of Hitchcock movies. Yeah, no, it's really interesting. I don't want to say too much about it in case anyone hasn't seen it, and it's around. I might be streaming somewhere. I'm not sure, but I think it's been kind of regarded, with the benefit of hindsight, the benefit of time, as one of Hitchcock's finest works, and I think it's definitely worthwhile. I mean, to me, like Psycho was like more iconic, and like what I think of when I think of Hitchcock. But this is definitely a really, really well-made movie and really interesting movie, and one I would be curious to revisit with the added context, extra knowledge that, you know, that comes with something like this, where you don't know the full story, but then you do. So yeah, would recommend it. Really enjoyed it. We have some intentions to watch Dr. Sleep on Halloween itself, which is a Friday. We've been meaning to revisit that.
Isn't it?
Little spoopy for sure. But there's a director's cut, a 3-hour director's cut that neither of us have watched. So we're going to do that. We're going to dedicate the time, I think, Friday night, Halloween on Halloween itself, to do that. So we'll probably talk about that on a future episode. And we also want to watch Sinners, which is getting an IMAX re-release.
It's incredible.
Like a week. So I think we're going to try to do that maybe Sunday, or we might do it Friday and then switch our Dr. Sleep plans around. But those are our two like targeted spooky season activities, or watches/rewatches that we're going to do. So we didn't do American Horror Story this year, just traveling and stuff. We just didn't really have the time, and honestly, I think taking a year off is fine. I think I could use the time off. Entertained by that show, but it's a lot to take in. And the only other thing I'll say, and just because by the time we record again, it will be done. We've been watching the World Series. We watched the 18-inning monstrosity a few nights ago where the Dodgers won, and I'm looking now. It looks like, as of recording, the Blue Jays have won Game 5, putting them up in the series by 1. By the time I listen to this, probably by the time our listeners listen to this, they'll know who have won. But let it just be said, I'm rooting for the Canadian team to win. So go Blue Jays. The Braves didn't make the playoffs, so I Dodgers have a ridiculous team. I like some players. I love Shohei. I love Freddie, but there would just be nothing more glorious than a Canadian team winning the World Series right now. That's all I'll say. That's it for me, but it's not it for this episode. I have one addition of the Listener's Corner that I'm going to incorporate here and now.
Okay. What do we got?
And it ties into spoopy season as well. Mr. Bruce Brown, the main contributor to the Listener's Corner, has chimed in on the new It television show, Welcome to Derry, which I think we were a little meh on based on the trailer. It looked kind of samey, like, how is this different from
what can it offer that the
what
movie
can
doesn't?
It
right.
offer? Correct. And well, he doesn't specify what it offers, but what he does tell us, Mr. Bruce Brown, is holy crap, it is effing good, really, really good. And that's one episode. That's one episode that I think is only out on Max as of recording, or HBO Max now, because they put it back at HBO Max. That's all I have on that front. I actually have heard some pretty good buzz on it, which is a little surprising, but a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. I think an It TV show could be pretty fucking cool. I just didn't get the sense that what we were getting was going to give us anything different.
Yeah, I went for
interesting or novel from what the movies already did.
I went for Task.
And if I'm wrong, great. Task. Yeah, we'll talk about that on a future episode. Maybe I'd love to. We have talked about starting it and haven't actually done it yet, but I think maybe we'll do it like once we're done with our Halloween washes and stuff. So anyway, that's it. That's the Listener's Corner, and that is it here. So it's been not even 2 hours, and here we are. We're ready to close things out. I think everything's working as intended. So
and we even got rambly.
And this was a rambly episode. I only had one beer. But it was just...
No, I had a bottle of wine, but I guess that's
well, but that's how it goes. But just yeah, I think just something about this movie just got both of us going in like the wrong direction. You know what I mean? So
I just wanted more.
Anyway, we just wanted more. It's frustration, it's disappointment. You gotta commiserate. Like I said. So anyway, thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, you can spread the word. To all of your friends on the internet, however you want to do that. We're on Patreon at patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat. You can get early access to all the regular episodes, or I guess effectively in November as of the release of this episode. And maybe there's our time is running out to do a bonus episode, but I think we can still sneak one in at some point. We'll figure it out. Talk to Andrew off air. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. But other than that, our website, our main website, if you want to check out all our episodes, find anything else, social media information, it's all there. The website is watchreviewrepeat.com. For direct links to our socials, we're on Blue Sky at watchreviewrepeat.bsky.social. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/watchreviewrepeat, and Instagram at watchreviewrepeat. If you want to be a part of the future edition of the Listener's Corner, if you are someone that's not Bruce Brown, and this is not to say that Mr. Bruce Brown should not, feel free to participate in the future as well. But if you feel like you want to join the party, you feel like, I think it might be cool if my name is said on the podcast. Send questions, comments, suggestions, thoughts on it, thoughts on Tron, thoughts on anything, man. Anything. We'll entertain it. watchreviewrepeat@gmail.com. If you got something to say, send it our way. Intro and outro track, that would be Mechanolith by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. Just get some 9 Inch Nails. Just replace all our fucking shit with 9 Inch Nails. That would be badass.
Throw a plug in there and change the intro music. Brought to you by
intro and outro track is by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool if the movie was fucking better. Maybe it would be worth a while.
That would be neat. That would be neat. I don't know what we're doing next. We kind of have a space next week, particularly before we get like a run of shit coming out in November. Del Toro's Frankenstein's dropping on Netflix, I think a week and a half. Predator Badlands is the same day. The Running Man's the next week, and then I think Wicked for Good's the week after that. So we got a pretty stacked November.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't know if Mr. Meadows has 3 theater trips in him. We'll see.
For those movies, I think I might.
But like it does feel like they could be worth it, but obviously
when's Zootopia 2 come out? And I feel like that's coming out.
That's actually the very end of November, but we could potentially roll that into December. But at least that might be a family friendly theater trip.
A family trip.
At least for one of the kiddos. So we might next week might be the right opportunity to catch up on headlines and trailers and whatever else we've been up to, the tasks and other things that we've done. But the tasks and task, to be clear. But I don't know. Maybe there's also something else that's come out that might be.
Maybe we do our first unnamed episode, like the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe we'll do that. Like I said, if there's something else that makes more sense to cover as a full on episode, then we can do that. But yeah, I think tentatively we might be planning for that kind of whatever miscellaneous episode to kind of be the first attempt at that and see how it goes, see how long it takes us, and continue tinkering and figuring out the new thing, figure out a fucking name for it at some point, that sort of thing. Fun, catchy name. Any suggestions, watchreviewrepeat@gmail.com as well. That would be appreciated. We'll give you full credit, if you come up with something nice and clever and fun for us. Can't pay you, but I can give you credit. You can pay me at Patreon, but you'd be paying Andrew as well. So anyway, yeah, I think we'll reconvene. I think theoretically in a week's time, and we'll have something. We'll have something. We'll be doing something. That's for sure. So stay tuned. And with that, I think it's time to say goodbye.
Take care now. Bye bye then.
Laters on the Menche.